2, 1.
It's going.
Is it going? Okay.
I said 3, 2, 1.
That's okay. Usually means go. Okay. All right. So what you're looking at here is the dry bones behind the scenes, behind the screens, and you see all the awesome world changers down here. And basically, go ahead and hit play, and I'll tell you when to pause it. This is Ash. She's operating the computer.
The hand of the Lord was upon me.
Okay. For the first scene, we have Brad. Go ahead, Brad. Okay. You see the hand of God right here, which is Brad, and then go over here to Bryce. Bryce is Ezekiel. In Ezekiel chapter 37, it says the hand of the Lord was upon me, and he leads him out into the valley of the dry bones. Okay, so you got Brad here, you got him. See how far he is to make his hand look big, and then you got Bryce right here, really close to the screen. Dirt and humans down here. Okay, here we go.
He brought me out by the Spirit of the Lord and set me in the middle of a valley.
Alright, okay, pause it. Okay, stay up there. Okay, so what you see there is it says that he brought him out into the valley of the dry bones, and our dirt people here in our valley, we got Mariah and Allison here that turn into a valley. So you can see up here on Bryce how it's supposed to look like a valley with their backs.
Kind of hurts.
Okay, you can go back down. Alright, go ahead.
It was full of bones. He led me back and forth among them, and I saw a great many bones.
And here we have Josh coming in. Turn this down a little bit. Josh comes in, and he's gone talking to Ezekiel. Come on, guys, focus. Talking to Ezekiel here, and he follows him back and forth. Go ahead.
On the floor of the valley, he asked me, "Son of man, can these bones live?"
Pause it. Here we have some props, some deer bones. They were from a dead carcass. We didn't kill it on purpose, PETA. And they were already dead. So we got these deer bones that really don't smell that bad.
Off the side of the road.
He's showing Bryce the bones. Okay, here we go, Ash.
I said, "O sovereign Lord, you alone know." Then he said to me, "Prophesy to these bones and say to them, dry bones, hear the voice of the Lord. I will make breath into you, and you will come to life. Then you will know that I am the Lord." So I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I was prophesying, there was a noise, a rattling sound.
Okay, pause it. Okay, here we have the actual dirt, what was the valley, actually turning into the dry bones, turning into the army. You see hands popping up, you see feet, you see different parts popping up, and they become the army. So go ahead.
I looked, and tendons and flesh appeared on them, and skin covered them. But there was no breath.
Okay, so now they're here and they have no breath, so they came down to their knees, and you see all four of them lined up across here. And God is about, and Ezekiel are about to come back out and prophesy and give them breath. Here we go.
Then he said to me, "Prophesy to the breath and say to it, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe into these three living." So I prophesied as he commanded.
Okay, now one thing that you did notice there is that as he's passing by each one, they are overly dramatic about coming to life. And you have to do that with these shadows because you can't see facial expressions or anything like that. So you have to be overly dramatic about everything. And as he's going by, you see them kind of come to life, so to speak. So, here we go.
Stood up on their feet, a vast army.
We stand, we rise, we give our life. We stand, we rise, we give our life.
Okay, here, this is where the advantage of using a, I don't know, I'm looking at the computer, of using a laptop or a projector as your light source helps because you can change the context and the texture of where our characters are. Here they're in a dark alley where they were in light, and the darkness is overcoming them. You'll see Brad come in and Austin here. They're usually dressed as demons, but they didn't tonight. But they're coming in with these flashlights. Brad, show them the flashlight. and they got their hands over the light, and basically they put it up to their heart and kind of do like a flash that that is supposed to represent their light being taken or their heart being taken, and then they end up in darkness. So they kind of crawl in front of them and do that number, and each one of them with their hands raised goes limp. Okay, here we go.
Oh.
It began long ago, when darkness through its deceit captured the hearts of the sons and daughters of light. We looked for light, but we found only darkness. We searched for bright skies, but walked in gloom. We fumbled like the blind along the wall, feeling away like people without eyes. We were destined to fall, even in the brightest days. We stumbled as if it were dark. Among the living, we were like the dead. We looked for justice, but it never came. We looked for rescue, but it was far from us. So he himself stepped in to save us with his strong arm and his justice to sustain him. He put on righteousness his armor, salvation his helmet. He clothed himself with a robe of vengeance and wrapped himself.
Here we're just using a typical bathrobe from Walmart to give the illusion. Josh, back up a little bit. Now you see, and back up, center yourself in the screen. Yeah, now you see, watch, put it on the screen. As he backs up, back up Josh. As he backs up, obviously he's going to get bigger the closer that he gets to the light source. So he's supposed to represent God here becoming flesh, Jesus becoming flesh. So you'll see him walk towards the screen, which would make him smaller on the screen. Okay, go ahead, Ash.
Himself in a cloak of divine passion. He slipped out of his royal garments, left eternity to enter time, divinity to wrap himself in humanity. The sea of glass for the ocean of separation. He left peace, and for the first time felt pain, because the very hands that held the stars were now.
Okay, now this part is where Dylan, aka Box Arms, comes in, and what we used for this, let me have one of these. What we used for this was a FedEx shipping tube, which we cut off. You can get these for free at like the UPS store, ironically enough, or any shipping store that uses FedEx. And he just puts his gargantuan arms in there. And basically on this screen, you can't really see it, but there's a cross on this side, obviously, and a cross on that side. And Dylan comes in and makes the middle cross with his box arms. And here we have Austin and Brad, the Roman soldiers, who come and take Jesus and nail his hands to the FedEx boxes.
Ow.
Okay, here we go. You're fired.
Sentenced to wear my scars. It was love that purchased this traitor's heart. It's what the prophets spoke about when they envisioned light living in men once again. For this reason, I am legend, predestined for greatness, for the final hour. I was born for this, with weapons in hand, armor in place.
Okay, here we have your typical Nerf weapons, which do not hurt very bad. And he's got a sword there, $9. The hatchet was $5, Walmart. And then this is Bryce, the mad warrior. He'll get mad at you, but he's on the road to Damascus. Here we go. Okay, go.
I now march to the beat of a different drum. I will break through battle lines that have been drawn by discouragement and despair. No more is left to be said. Time has met its end. It's now or never. Collision with me, myself, and I. You see, my mission today is clear. To wake the dead. So let freedom's song rage.
All right. Y'all
Cameraman.
ready to go for the next one?